Hello and welcome everyone to Cafe. I'm Crystal Candy.
And I'm Clarence Reynolds. It is great to be back with you to share all of the fun and exciting events happening this week.
So the Orlando Science Center, they just opened up their new Life exhibit, but they have events all throughout the year and different exhibits that kind of come and go and they change. And we got an overview of all the great things at the Science Center from Jeff Stanford. Check it out. The Orlando Science Center is packed with floor after floor of science, and we're talking about animals, we're talking about dinosaurs, we're talking about experiments, and our go-to for all things science is Jeff Stanford from the Orlando Science Center. We could talk science all day long because truly science is in everything, and you guys demonstrate that so well here at the Science Center.
Thank you, Crystal. It truly is. It's our mission, it's our passion. We want people to be excited about science and understand how it impacts their daily lives, and that science helps generate some very special skills that help all of us be successful and attack those challenges that we face every day.
You know what else? It's just fun too. And you guys have such a great way here of doing different hands-on experiences that draw people in and help them learn in a fun way, but where people don't even realize they're learning sometimes.
Yeah, that's a great point. And people learn more when they're having a good time. You know, we promote learning through play. Everything at Orlando Science Center is very hands-on. It's an immersive environment. We want people to learn and discover together. So in every exhibit that we have, whether it's the all-new Life exhibit, whether it's Kinetic Zone, whether it's our Makerspace The Hive, or our Planet Earth Space Science Hall, or even the Dino Digs, Dinosaur Hall, there are these things that get people engaged in hands-on learning, immersive learning, to learn, to discover, to create, and do that together. And we're really proud of that. The organization is very dedicated to these big experiences.
When you said do things together, it's one of those things where when we come to the Science Center, we see families, we see grandparents, grandkids. You've done a great job to make it engaging for all ages because you can continue to learn and learn and learn throughout your life.
Absolutely. There is no shelf life on curiosity, right? There's no age limit on learning something new. So we try to create experiences that engage the whole family together, that engage multiple ages. We like to say that the Science Center has a layered experience where the little ones will enjoy it for one reason, and the older kids will enjoy it for another reason, and the adults will enjoy it for another reason altogether. But we're all coming together to celebrate science, to be this place where the community can engage together to learn something new and to explore the world around them.
And one of the great ways that you have continued to evolve that mission is the new Life exhibit, which is quite stunning and very hands-on and interactive. How excited are you that Life is now officially unveiled?
We are so thrilled to that Life is beginning at Orlando Science Center, and this exhibit, this exploration and celebration of nature and conservation, began more than a decade ago as we started to pull together the grand vision of the future of Orlando Science Center, as we put together these ideas in what we call the Unlock Science campaign. We've been fundraising for more than a decade to expand experiences, to renovate exhibit halls, to increase access and resources here at the Science Center. And Life is just one of the latest projects, and it's big. It's the biggest thing we've ever done. It's made possible through some amazing partners like Orange County. We got some funding through the TDT initiative that helped make this possible, and some really incredible community donors like Dr. Sarah Layton, who became our presenting sponsor by making the largest individual gift we've had in our entire history. So Life is special for a lot of reasons, but beyond that, it is full of cool stuff. There's animals from all over the world that you can check out, and not in in displays. I mean, you're really kind of like going into their home and visiting them directly in their environment, and I think that creates a very special bond between our visitor and our animals.
It's just that inspiration, that interactivity that you guys continue to inspire the community, and that's what's so great too. So all the events you have throughout the year, the permanent exhibits that Jeff just talked about, you can find all of that information online at the Orlando Science Center's website. Check it out. There is floor after floor of things to explore and events throughout the year. So thank you so much, Jeff Stanford of the Orlando Science Center. And for you to learn more, go to osc.org.
All of that sitting right there on Princeton.
In a beautiful building.
In a beautiful building.
I mean,
it's a lot.
I like what he will always say, like, curiosity has no expiration date. So from the little toddlers, you know, to their grandparents, you're going to have a great time at the
Something
Science
for
Center.
everybody.
Absolutely. Central Florida Vocal Arts presents the Tony Award-winning musical Light in the Piazza on November 15th and 16th. It's based on a 1960 novella, and the show tells the story of Margaret Johnson, a wealthy Southern woman, and Clara, her daughter. The two spend a summer together in Florence, Italy, where Clara falls in love with Fabrizio, a young Italian man. Margaret is forced to reconsider not only Clara's future, but her own deep-seated hopes and regrets. For showtimes and tickets, visit centralfloridaVocalArts.org.
Kick off the Christmas season at the 38th Annual Festival of Trees, now through November 24th at the Orlando Museum of Art. The Festival of Trees features enchanting decor, more than 30 designer-decorated trees, exceptional gingerbread houses, and wreaths. Visitors will also participate in the crowd favorite Entertaining and Design Tablescapes raffle, a silent auction, and photo ops with Santa. For tickets and more details, go to omart.org.
UCF opera students are presenting several entertaining chamber operas, all of them in English. This year's UCF Opera Scenes program consists of 4 brief operas and an added scene from a famous operetta. The 4 identical concerts take place on November 9th, 10th, and 16th at the UCF Rehearsal Hall. This year's selections center on a game of bridge, 3 anxious co-eds in a dorm room, the making of a pizza, and a lesson in carefully choosing one's dreams. You can support the future of opera by getting tickets and showtimes at purplepass.com/events.
The Orlando Science Center invites you to explore the science behind some of our favorite sci-fi and pop culture icons with hands-on experiments, activities, and live shows at their Sci-Fi Weekend. It happens November 16th and 17th from 11 a.m. till 4, and tickets include admission to the entire Science Center, including the aforementioned new nature and conservation exhibit, Life. For more details, visit osc.org. Tammy Diener Lafferty, who is a curator at the Alvin Palacic Museum and Sculpture Gardens, joins us to tell us about this very, very special place in our area. Welcome, Tammy. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Every time I say Alvin Palacic Museum and Sculpture Gardens to somebody, their eyes light up.
Yes.
For people who haven't been, tell them what they will experience once they go there.
Well, I would say, many people say, oh, I have never heard of it, or I have never been there and I've heard of it. So I just want to say, I hope that everyone will come to visit. It is a very special place. It's located in Winter Park, Florida, on the shores of Lake Osceola. And it is not only a museum, it is also, we have an historic home. We have a sculpture garden located on the shores of Lake Osceola. And And we also have an art gallery with rotating exhibits that we rotate 4 times a year with different, upcoming and new artists. We have an annual event called Winter Park Paint Out, which is very popular in Winter Park and is a lot of fun. And we also have Capen House, which is a second historic home, and there we host events, weddings and conferences, and it's available for rent.
Now, you just sort of slid the Sculpture Gardens in there.
Yes,
but
I
it
did.
really is a
Yes.
very special place.
It is a special place. I highly recommend people come and spend a day there. The Sculpture Gardens, it's a 3-acre sculpture garden, just lush with all kinds of different tropical plants. And nestled within the plants, you'll find as you turn around every corner, the beautiful sculptures created by Alban Polashek. He built this home in 1950 when he retired, and he built it to be his studio and his home, and he was inspired by the same sights that you'll see when you visit there, the beautiful landscaping and the beautiful view of the lake, and he designed those gardens himself to display his sculptures.
It's a wonderful experience. It's reflective, contemplative, but also just so artistic.
Yes.
You're seeing so much beautiful design. The atmosphere, of course, and the setting is
Yes.
just amazing to be there on the lake. So if people wanted to bring their family, would kids really enjoy it as well?
Yes, we're definitely very welcoming to families. I think, one of the best parts is our 3-acre sculpture garden, so the kids can go out and run around in the gardens. It's fine to go up to the sculptures and touch them and interact with them. And we do have docent-led museum guided tours of the historic home, which will tell you all about the life of Alban Polashek and about his artwork. But I would say they're pretty brief, and I think most kids would be able to follow along and enjoy it, yes.
So Tammy, tell me about Winter Park Paint Out. What would people experience if they participate?
Winter Park Paint Out is, one of the cultural events of the year in Orlando. It's very popular. It's been held since 2011, and the Winter Park Paint Out consists of plein air painters. 24, nationally recognized plein air painters. Plein air means outdoor painting. Come for Winter Park Paint Out for a week-long festival. And in that week, these painters create, up to 250 paintings. Our gallery is turned into a wet room, and as they paint, their paintings are hung in the wet room. And they are all available for sale. The proceeds help to benefit the museum and the artists as well. They paint on site at the Polashek Museum. The museum and the festival is free all week long. And we have painting demonstrations, so some of these artists will give demonstrations as to their techniques and how they paint. It's just a really wonderful, wonderful place to be. The painters can be found all over different sites around Winter Park and Orlando. So if you see, during the last week of April, we have this annual event every year. If you see painters painting away, it's most likely that they are part of Winter Park Paint Out.
And with the Sculpture Garden and just the beautiful locale, is there event space that you could have an event there?
Oh yes, we're very popular for weddings. In 2014, the museum had the opportunity to purchase, it's called Capen House. Capen House was located on the other shore of Lake Osceola, and the land was purchased and the house was to be demolished. And so a bunch of concerned citizens, including the Polashek Museum, got together and raised funds to save the Capen House. And they were able to, in a very short amount of time, raise enough funds to move and restore the home. So yes, it was moved across the lake. So I was not there at this time, but I've seen photos, and from what I understand, the house was actually cut in half, and then it was put on barges and floated across the lake to out to the Palacic property, and there it was reassembled together and restored, and it's just a beautiful historic building from the beginning of the 20th century, like early 1900s. Beautiful wood floors. It's just a lovely place to be, and it is available for weddings. We have many weddings, engagement parties, even business conference meetings there. It's a very photogenic spot. You can be married on the shores of Lake Osceola in the midst of the beautiful sculpture garden.
Very nice,
Yes.
very nice. And what a story you'll have to tell about your venue
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Well, Tammy, thank you for being with us. And if you haven't been to the Palacic Museum and Sculpture Gardens, make your way there. It is one of the gems here in Central Florida.
Thank you.
Emotions Dance Company invites you to an extraordinary night as they bring icons to the stage. This showcase of contemporary ballet and jazz is inspired by legendary music. Get ready to be mesmerized by performances set to the timeless hits of David Bowie, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Taylor Swift, and others. This event celebrates the fusion of dance and music, paying tribute to the icons who have shaped our musical landscape. It all takes place November 16th and 17th at ME Theater in Orlando. Visit emotionsdance.org for tickets and showtimes.
Celebrate Florida's native plants during Family Day at the Palacic Museum on November 17th from 2 to 4 p.m. The program for the day includes kids' activities, story time, demonstrations, workshops, a plant sale, gallery talk, and food trucks. Some popular natives in Florida include beautyberry, mullygrass, coontie, and southern magnolia. These names may not sound familiar, but you've probably seen them in your neighbors' landscapes or your own. To learn more, go to palacic.org.
Also at the Palacic Museum, the art exhibit Natural Florida, now through December 1st. The show features botanical watercolors by Emma Sears Marsh and oil paintings by Joy Postel. Their works feature the beauty of Florida's plants, wildlife, and landscapes. Both women were talented and trailblazing artists who documented the plants and wildlife of Florida during the early decades of the 20th century when much of the state's land remained undeveloped. For tickets, visit palacic.org.
Lots of plants.
By the way, I thought you were making some of those plant names up.
No, beautyberry is a thing. Yeah.
And coontie.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. And actually, they are pretty normal. We just
see
don't
them all
know
the
the
time.
name. Yeah, nobody knows the name, the actual name of these plants.
But that's why it's good to learn. Listen, we can all learn something
Go
new
to the
every
Palacic
day.
and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Well, that wraps up this week of events. If you have one you'd like to share with us for next month, send us an email at cafe@ocfl.net. I'm Crystal Candy.
And I'm Clarence Reynolds. Remember to join us next week to see what's new and exciting happening in your community.
Hi, it's Carissa. Join me on Taste of the Town, where we explore beautiful restaurants here in Orlando, all while enjoying their tasty cuisine. Come with me to visit All Red so you too can enjoy your taste of the town. Come on, let's go. Hello and welcome to Taste of the Town. I'm Carissa Clark. Today I'm here at Ole Red in Icon Park, and I have the pleasure of introducing to you their GM, Brian Yule. Thank you for being here, Brian.
Thanks for being here, Carissa.
Oh, I'm very excited. I love Old Red, and I love their food, and I know that you have a delicious recipe here for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so please tell us about it. What do you
So
have?
today we're going to make our redneck nachos. This is by far our most popular starter. It's a crowd pleaser. Kids love them, adults love them, everybody loves them. So you can modify them however you want, but we're going to make the standard as it comes on the menu today.
Okay.
So we start with our tricolor tortilla chips. Got red, blue, and yellow. And we're going to cover that with some of our white queso sauce. And this is melted white American with green chilies and it's got some cumin, it's got salt and pepper, all kinds of good stuff in there.
Yum.
So we get a nice coating of that on there. A little bit on every chip. The important thing with making great nachos is to get a little bit of coverage on everything.
I appreciate that detail. That is great.
So every little bite has got something good on it. Then we've got our taco meat, which is lean ground beef, again with different spices, chili powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, cumin. And again, a little bit of coverage everywhere. Oh, we got a fire. That's okay, that's how it happens in a kitchen. And so we've got our hot ingredients on the chips.
Okay.
Also, the chips are fried in-house, and they're going to be kept warm so that the nachos come out warm to all the tables.
That is delicious. Okay.
Then we're going to go with pickled jalapenos.
All right.
Got to have those for a nacho.
Agreed.
Unless you don't like the heat, this is definitely an important part of the flavor component.
Okay.
And again,
I love a jalapeno, personally.
good coverage.
Yes.
So we got a little bit everywhere.
Yes.
And then we'll go to our black olives. Same idea, a little bit everywhere. And just like a real kitchen, we're all over the place here. We're really cooking.
This is beautiful. This is really, really nice.
The cool thing about this recipe is it's not just delicious, it's got great contrast of textures, colors. So, you know, you eat with your eyes first. And with this one, it really entices the person.
I mean, literally, like this plate is dancing. Now, is this what makes it redneck? Is it just the corn? I know you said it's like a corn.
A corn salsa, so that's almost like a southern chow chow. And also we use, the next ingredient, house pickled red onion.
Yum.
So
That
southern food with pickled veggies is a big thing.
Oh.
And we just continue with getting our great coverage.
I think this is so appetizing. So appetizing and completely reasonable. to
Absolutely.
make. Look how easy that is.
And then a lot of nachos will come with your standard sour cream. We kick it up a notch with an avocado crema.
Oh.
So then you're going to get a little drizzle of that right on top.
Brian. Wow. This is
And-
making me hungry.
And the very last thing to give it a
Yeah.
great herbaceous kind of note and also another great color pop is baby or micro cilantro.
Brian.
And that is our redneck nacho.
And now that looks completely fantastic. Like, I'm salivating, and I think maybe you are at home. Now, I know that you also run a lot of live events here, and I know that you can book. Is this something that people like to do often?
You can do this in your event, but really the sky's the limit. We
So the
do
menu is open.
absolutely.
Okay.
We do carving stations. We've made sushi. We do whatever people want. We do
my gosh.
Asian food, Italian food, Mediterranean.
But we have this delicious nachos. I think this would be perfect as well when you're hosting, just to elevate and to do something that's really special and clearly very beautiful.
Absolutely.
I think it might be about time to have a little taste.
Please go ahead.
Now, while I take a taste here too, I know you run live music here at Old Red, don't you?
Every day we've got a great group of local artists.
Okay.
And then we bring them in from all over Central Florida.
Well, that sounds, I love live music. And I love nachos. I mean, okay, here we go.
So you get the crisp, you get
Mm-hmm.
the hot, the melty, the fresh, the bright, kind of a nice array of
Yes.
flavors.
Yes. Oh, Brian, that is wonderful. That is delicious. I absolutely loved it. That is so good.
Glad
I
you liked
actually
it.
just want to eat more, but okay. Okay. Well, please, I hope that this does inspire you to go to our website to get more information. And I invite you to come in here to Old Red because the space is amazing, the food is delicious. And until then, I'll be seeing you around town.